Trump delayed that immigration order, signing it until later this week. We know Hispanics in West Michigan will be paying close attention to what it includes. So far, he has kept that protection in place that President Obama introduced in 2012, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA. It protects certain people who meet the requirements from being removed from the country. It can also authorize them to work here and travel in the U.S. They're often called dreamers. One dreamer in Kalamazoo is currently protected under DACA, but now he's worried about what will happen to him and his family if it goes away. Juan Herrera is 21 years old, a student at Western Michigan University.
I have 2 jobs through Western. One of them is a mobile programmer. I'm also part of a fraternity.
He'll graduate this May with a degree in computer information systems. It's an opportunity his family risked a great deal for him to have. They lived in San Felipe, Mexico until he was 4 years old. That's when Juan's father decided to move them to the U.S. and settle in West Michigan.
Did you feel when you were growing up that you were an American? And then when did you realize that you weren't?
My parents let us know when we were young, like, what our situation was.
He realized in high school, when he was applying for scholarships, how difficult life might be as an undocumented immigrant. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, helped get him those scholarships and a job to put himself through school. Now, Juan is concerned about what might happen to him, his 2 sisters, and his parents as the president lays out stricter immigration policies.
Definitely. They're hardworking people. They've never done anything wrong. They're homeowners. They contribute to this economy as best as they can. We've never taken any help from the government.
Juan doesn't even remember the place where he was born, so the prospect of going back is daunting.
What would you say to the people who want these tougher immigration policies? And they would say, well, why did your parents come over here when they knew that it was illegal and they knew they'd be putting you in this position? What would you say to that?
Well, definitely my parents made that decision because they wanted a better opportunity for their kids, for my sisters, for myself. They wanted us to have those opportunities that they never had.
Opportunities like graduating from college. Juan's parents will be proud to watch him do that in 2 months. And Juan talked about what he and his family think the immigration policies should look like. He believes most of the people coming here are good people, like his parents, and that a type of work permit would be a good solution to allow them to stay and work towards a permanent residency status. Now, I talked to Kalamazoo's police chief about this because he had a meeting about immigration last Friday. Chief Jeff Hadley tells me the gym at the Hispanic American Council, which is where we met Juan, was packed with nearly 200 people. It was closed to the media, but we know he reassured those who were there that police officers are not ICE agents. You know, they've expressed worry and fear towards local law enforcement. Hadley says they don't have jurisdiction or even the authority to enforce immigration laws. They're also responsible, he says, to serve everyone, whether documented or not. They don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable calling 911 if they need help because they're worried about their status. One thing he's heard from parents at that meeting is that their kids are afraid of police. They consider them not there to help. So Chief Hadley is planning to hold some special meetings with those children coming up in the next month just to let them know that the police are there to protect them, not to deport them.
And back to Juan with this DACA provision that he's under. This isn't a fast track to citizenship. This is actually a complicated process. He has to continue
complicated.
to
Every
renew.
2 years he has to renew, but it allows him to have ID so he can work. It gives him a work permit, allows him to get some of those scholarships to travel, basically gives him some rights while he is here until, you know, if he wants to try and become a permanent resident and work towards citizenship. It's complicated.
Very complicated, okay.